In today's video, we are gonna take a look inside this JBL Post 8 clone. It's not really a clone because JBL never released this model. And it performs very well. Actually, if you haven't seen the video where I tested this against my other speakers, you can go to my channel and watch it now. So let's begin the disassembly. This flap comes off and you charge it, and you can connect a USB stick here. There are two screws here. Also acts like the hole for the flap, which is quite smart. It still doesn't come out. I suspect there's more screw here. Yes, you can see already. It comes off. The plus minus power, the light effect, and the mode. It does have FM mode if you are interested. Here you can see the motherboard, the clear case, and the inner case. Only the inner white case is actually important for the audio. The outer case is just for the look. You can see the passive radiator is sealed to the white case. Let's take the main board out. The cable is glued with hot glue here, which is good because this needs to be sealed. You can see when I press the passive radiator, the speaker moves together. So the speaker has a good seal and will sound good. It looks a lot like the previous speaker I taken apart. Also, if you haven't watched it, you can go check it out in my channel. Two connector for a battery and a speaker. Also one for the LED. I also think it's WS2812 type. We'll take a look closer at the circuit board later, but we can already see two inductors, so it's gonna have a more powerful amplifier. The other speaker we taken a look at before have a amplifier with charge pump to boost the voltage. This one uses inductor, so it's a lot more powerful. The speaker on this one is also a lot larger on the other one. You can see in the comparison video. And for a speaker, the larger it is, always the better it sounds, because that's just physics. Here it comes out. Already broke it, but that's okay. Fix it later. The cable of the speaker is broken. There's no rating on the speaker. It says 78p8. Don't know what that means. Probably 8 watts. 4 ohms, I presume. It's not easy to measure it because it's an inductor and you can measure it with a multimeter. Looks quite nice. Have a good travel. Let's continue. You can see the weight for the passive radiator because it needs to be tuned with the correct weight for it to respond at the correct frequency. You can already see the WS2 LED inside. Let me think if there's a good way to get even further in. There probably isn't. There's no way I can take the interesting out. This is as far as we are gonna get. So you can see the WS2 LEDs. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each sticks. You only need one signal wire to control as many as you want, up to like 1,000. So they are all connected in series. This is the connection to the speaker connector there. You can see the battery inside, just barely. You can see HX 3000 milliamp hour. So one moment please, I go grab the multimeter and test the voltage because it looks like 2-cell to me. Let's measure the voltage. If you wanna see a review on this multimeter, I will do it in the future, so you can subscribe to me. It's actually 4 volts. That's unexpected. But yeah, this width is a lot smaller than you can fit to 18650. I guess. So normal AA. It's probably 2 AA with 1500 milliamp hour inside. So the specs is actually fake. It's about 6,000, I guess. It's only 3,000, but the battery life isn't that bad. With the lights on, even can play for, I don't know, at least 5 hours. Without the lights, I don't even know. It's very long. And so let's take a closer look at the board now. Okay, so this is the USB connector, the AUX connector. This 2 resistor is the CC resistor for the USB-C connector, so you can charge it with the C to C cable. So 2 LED, 1 green, 1 red for the charging indication. Actually 1 white, 1 red, I think. And here's the chip. The model is AC24C87173 65E4. I'm not sure what's the actual model number, but most likely this actually contains a DSP. That's why it works so well. Here's the 456, of course. If you are into electronic, you would know this by heart. It's the charging controller, linear one. Here's amplifier, ANT8918. Here's the inductor, so it indicates this is amplifier with an internal boost converter, and a diode for the boost converter, some capacitor for filtering. Here's a A1 SHB for switching the LED, most likely. On the back side, here is the probably a boost converter for the LED. You see the positive actually connects to this capacitor. So this is a boost converter for LED. The marking is KHHAE. Not sure what this is, but it's just a generic boost converter. And there's nothing else, just SD card slots and a USB-C connector. Here's the antenna. And that's pretty much it. Let's take a look at the data sheet of the audio amplifier. NT8918 is a crest edge amplifier with the boost pulse pipe you're in. It can be powered from 0.7 volts, so the battery is just one cell. Drive 3 ohm, it's 12.5 watts. I'm not quite sure what this speaker is, but the last one we took a look at is 3 ohms. This one is in the 3 to 4 ohm range. Here we can see at 4 ohm, 3.7 volts. THD probably 10% is too much, 1% is more like it. 8.5 watts, and if it's 3 ohm, it's 10 watts. It's not as much as you expect, definitely way less than the real JBL, but if you see the video I tested, it's very capable. The sound is very loud and it flex a lot. The bass is okay, I would say. And that's pretty much it. Here is the example diagram with the two capacitors and the inductor, of course, the diode, and yeah, that's pretty much it. It's pretty simple. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you liked it, or even want to see the future video that I talk about this Bluetooth module, stay tuned, and I will see you next time. Bye.